welcome back to my channel. So, day before yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of my engagement party, and coincidentally, it reminded me of a video made by Saisha. I'm going to link her below. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong. Of her wedding outfit and accessories budget, and I realized it's extremely helpful. I was a little hesitant to share that because money is not something we talk about a lot in our culture. But then I realized that wait, we need to, because if I'm going to promote sustainable living and sustainable clothing, then the myth that sustainable clothing is not pretty or is not cheap needs to be burst. Because yes, sustainable clothing does tend to carry a higher price tag. And yes, sustainable clothing needs a lot more innovation, but we have come a long way. And as someone who had an entire wedding with sustainable clothing and looked damn gorgeous in it, I can tell you it is extremely, extremely possible. And there was not just one way of being sustainable that I tried, but multiple. So, yes, as always, it's going to be imperfectly sustainable because when you live in systems that aren't built for sustainability, you have to do the best you can. So, before I start showing you what I wore and how much it cost, the one thing that I want to talk about is that green capitalism or green consumerism is not going to save us. And because as much as buying slow fashion is good because we are supporting local, we are supporting fair wages, we are supporting ethical fabrics, low impact fabrics, good working conditions, and all of that is great. The point is that is not the only solution, that's not the silver bullet. So let us keep in mind that the best thing is to swap, to borrow, to reuse, to repair. Keeping that in mind though, sometimes you need to shop, and in those cases slow fashion is the way to go, whether it's for cultural reasons or because your physical appearance has changed or your style has changed. It's a thing that needs to happen. So given all of that, because I've rambled on for enough, let us get into the clothing. The first dress I wore was for my proposal. It was bought in a local market back in my home city, but I'm pretty sure it was imported and is fast fashion, except I found a lot of value in the dress. I mean, a lot of people thought I looked pretty in it. I still wasn't at the point where if it's unless 100% yes, it's a no. So I decided to go with others' opinions. And this time, this is probably the only time that was a good choice because I recently re-wore the dress on my birthday and I looked gorgeous. So that is one way to reuse the fast fashion in your closet, because as long as you're keeping something in circulation, the resources are not getting wasted or sent to the landfill. This dress cost somewhere between, I don't know, 500 to 1000 rupees. I bought it like 6 years back, so at this point I don't remember. But the next dress, which I bought last year around Feb or March for my engagement party, was a 100% thrifted piece. And the heels I bought for my first year of college, the necklace I'm wearing and the earrings I'm wearing are hand-me-downs or heirlooms. I suppose they can also be called heirlooms. And this entire outfit was bought separately. I bought the skirt, the fishnet lehenga on Thrift Up, which came with the dupatta. And I got the silver blouse, also on Free Up, not Thrift Up, Free Up. And yeah, it was a thrifted piece entirely, which cost me somewhere around 1200. And since everything else was hand-me-down, that was the entire cost of the outfit. So there is that. And I think I looked super gorgeous in it. I got my makeup done at a local parlor. And my hair was done by myself in a Princess Leia inspired hairstyle, because this entire outfit was supposed to be an Indianized and a me-ish version of Padme's look from the second prequel movie, but with like a little bit of airbor thrown in, which is what the huge necklace is all about. So yeah, that was my engagement party outfit, which I re-wore again on my birthday for my D&D warlock character. Like not the skirt, just the top and the dupatta with black jeans. You can see that here. The outfit that I wore was for my bridal shower, and this entire look, top to bottom except for the locally bought tiara, which again, not 100% eco-friendly, but probably slightly sustainable because it supports local economies. is a hand-me-down or a swap from my sister. Actually, I would call it a swap because it's still with her and she still uses it. Swap with your friends, you can swap with your cousins, you can swap with your neighbors, or as I did, you can thrift, you can buy slow fashion. There's a lot of options as we'll see further in this video. Next up, we have my holy fit. So my mother had gotten me an upcycled fit, but that didn't quite fit. So for my Holi, I am super excited to show you what I wore because I reused this tiara and I used the heels from my everyday closet, and I used this very gorgeous stiff kurti and dhoti set that I had gotten a very long time ago for someone's engagement. I am surprised I still fit into that because my body has changed so much, but that was baggy on me then, I suppose. And I love this. It is so Erebor, it is so me, and I look so pretty. I did my own makeup and I just love everything about this outfit. Right? Next up, I have what I wore for my Sangeet, Eyebrow Bath and Mehendi because all of them were one after the other in the same venue. And this was a gown that was inspired by Belle's in Beauty and the Beast, but given how Indian local boutiques and tailors are, they put their own spin on it. Not sure how I felt about it back then because it never looked good on me. And then my prom got cancelled, which is what this gown was for. So it never got worn until a family member's wedding. And then I re-wore it for my Sangeet, and this time it worked for me. So I suppose some clothes you have to grow into. Not an excuse to keep clothes you don't like unless you want to keep them. If you want to give them away, that's also alright. But for me, these were sentimental pieces and they worked. So that was the first 2 days of my wedding functions. I mean, I won't call it first 2 days because the engagement party was in March and then all these 3 functions were on the first day of the wedding rituals, right? The next day we just had 2 functions, but those were like the peak. We had the court wedding and the hand fastening and reception, right? The next day for my court wedding, I wore this beautiful sari which I went hunting over and brought from a local store back in my home city. And I asked them so many questions. I mean, it was made in-house and I'm still not sure how sustainable it is because like they said it was made in-house and the fabric was imported, but a sustainable fabric. But my mom was getting a little angsty, so I decided to like look past the travel emissions and just get something. This was on the more pricey end. Like obviously people buy lehengas which are worth lakhs and saris which are worth lakhs. So I wouldn't call this pricey, but I still feel like, and obviously I'm going to reuse it a lot, but I still feel like given how much everything else costs, this is like on the higher end because it was around 18 to 20k. The jewelry was again either gifts from my mom or heirlooms, and I just wore the same heels as all the other functions. So that was the cost of this outfit. The only thing I had to get, because this was like a ready sari, was like a white leggings because I didn't want to wear a petticoat underneath, which I got sustainably from a semi-sustainable store called Fab India for like $1,000, right? And then we have the event that I was looking forward to the most, my hand fastening. Obviously, I looked forward to the wedding the most, but the hand fastening was like such an Ereborian thing, and the gown just gave Star Wars meets Erebor to me. So that one I bought from Manyavar because I heard that they have certifications. Obviously, they are still a chain store and I don't know how much I trust them, but given my other options, that seemed like the most certified. And my mom was shocked that we got something so beautiful in Manyavar because it was like, oh, it's a retail store, yahan pe to kuch acha milega nahi. But like, we all fell in love with this, and it was sustainably certified, like, and they said it was vegan because it was only cotton and cotton net, not silk net. And I asked them so many questions about this. So this outfit is probably my most expensive outfit in the entire wedding. Like, again, the jewelry was gifted by my mom, so she knows how much it costs, but it was bought locally. I wanted to buy from Tej, which is like a super sustainable store, but my mom doesn't like buying jewelry online. The outfit with all the alterations and everything, I think cost somewhere around 35k. And the shoes, I love the shoes because they are bought from my friend's store called Salui, which is a fair trade sustainable vegan store. And yes, these are pricey, like, but I also got like a huge discount on these shoes, so I got them for like 4k, right? And yeah, that was my entire wedding day look. The next day we had the pug fera or the bow bath. So for that I wore this upcycled lehenga which my sister had gotten me for my mehendi. I was going to instead wear my grandma's sari, but again, as things go, this lehenga ended up being what I ended up wearing. Upcycled lehenga. So being upcycled, it's extremely eco-friendly because we are using things that are already made and keeping them in circulation instead of letting them go to the landfill or extracting new resources. And since it's locally made, I am going to give it the benefit of doubt on fair trade. But yes, I wouldn't call it 100% sustainable, but it was also a gift from my sister and she's trying really hard to respect my boundaries around sustainability. So I really appreciate that. Also, hashtag individual action matters, because look, my sister now cares, at least when it comes to my gifts. So that I wore with the same heels. And yes, that whole outfit was that. And along with that, I was given gifts like chutneys and all of that from my grandparents-in-law, from my uncles, from my father, because those are the rituals. And I just re-wore my wedding jewelry for the pug fera and everything because I didn't see the point in buying more and more and more. I'm not a huge jewelry person, as you must have noticed in my videos, because I feel like extracting resources for no reason is not fun when I can get sustainable jewelry or I can restyle my jewelry. But if you're someone who loves jewelry, sustainable jewelry is a great idea. My engagement ring was in fact recycled gold and lab made moissanite. Now we are realizing lab made isn't that good, but I worked with what I had then. And my wedding necklace, which is customary in some parts of my country, was literally just recycled silver. And my noa, which is something that my husband's family follows, was bought from Palmolive because they have demi-fine sustainable jewelry, though now I'm hearing the brand has customer service issues. But yeah, whatever I have links to and discount codes to, I will link them down below for you guys. And essentially what I'm trying to say is sustainability does not have to be expensive or ugly, because look, these outfits are downright gorgeous. Sustainability is what you make of it. And if you have heirloom saris, nani ki sari, dadi ki sari, mamma ka shadi ka lehenga, if Bollywood heroines can do it, why can't we? Like, I get it, there is a huge element to weddings of status, and there is the idea that if the bride doesn't look good, it's a reflection on her family, it looks bad. We have to work with those cultural norms. We can challenge them, but sometimes you have to walk alongside them. But here's the thing, there are women like Prajakta Kohli setting the trend of beautiful brides without much hubbub, and she looked gorgeous in her wedding pictures, right? And Alia Bhatt re-wore her wedding fits, and I've heard of Bollywood actresses wearing their mother's jewelries and lehengas, and I've heard of them upcycling, and I've heard of them getting locally made stuff with a lot of like handwork in it. So the change is coming, and if celebrities are picking it up, it's only a matter of time before it becomes mainstream. That's the hope. And we have a rich culture of repair, recycle, reuse, and there's always the option of renting if that works for you. So yeah, those were my wedding outfits, and in all, let's calculate how much that cost. Like I said, and in the era where big fat weddings are costing lakhs, sustainability is going to be the new trend. It better be. And if it becomes the trend, or even if it doesn't, if you care about the planet, why should you empty your wallet to follow a trend which you can follow by renting, reusing, repairing, recycling, wearing heirlooms, or buying affordable slow fashion, which is available. It's rare and you might not be able to get it for all your outfits, because if you like something, you like it. And there are stores that I love, like Ilahe, which were like very expensive just because they were sustainable, or maybe because they were designer. But I'm saying there are options which do not empty your wallet or the planet. So happy wedding to all my beautiful brides and grooms and spouses to be out there. Let's get sustainable weddings trending.